At this time a year ago, the dawn of 2020, the terms coronavirus and COVID-19 didn't mean anything to most of us. We'd never heard of social distancing or flattening the curve. We could not have explained 12 months ago the pictures of a world in masks, or of children staring into computer screens listening to their teachers, or of sports stars playing in empty stadiums and arenas. The loss would have sounded inconceivable, of lives, of jobs, of normalcy. With more than 350,000 Americans now dead from COVID since last February, there have been far too many lost to honor in the time we have this morning. So here are just some of 2020's lives well lived. America's healthcare workers became the frontline heroes of 2020, risking their lives every day in the fight against a pandemic. Caius Kelly was a nurse manager at Mount Sinai West Hospital in New York City. After weeks of treating COVID patients, he too fell ill. He told his sister not to worry. 6 days later, he died. After serving in the United States Navy Medical Corps, Dr. Frank Gabrin found his way to East Orange General Hospital in New Jersey as an emergency room physician. He gave his life to the fight against COVID, dying of the disease at home in his husband's arms. Communities across the country mourned the loss of inspirational leaders this year. Sandra Santos Vizcaíno, known for her warmth and generosity, was a beloved teacher at PS9 in Brooklyn, New York. She was believed to be the first New York City public school teacher to die of COVID-19. The size of the congregation swelled at St. Mark's Episcopal Church in Queens under the leadership of Father Antonio Checo. He had previously worked as a mental health clinician at Mount Sinai Queens Hospital, the same hospital where he died in April. Evanston, Illinois lost beloved barbecue restaurant owner Hecky Powell. His foundation and work program were pillars of the community there. A marquee outside his barbecue joint read, "If a town had a king, to a guy who lifted so many." And there were those whose legacies will be remembered by history well past the pandemic. Helen Jones Woods toured with a pioneering all-female multiracial big band. She later was fired by the Omaha Symphony when her boss discovered she was black, but not before she had made her crack in the wall of discrimination. A beloved White House butler named Wilson Roosevelt German served 11 presidents from Eisenhower to Obama. A true eyewitness to history, his kindness and care were remembered after his May passing in Virginia. Colonel Stephen DePeisler was the only known American to serve in 4 wars. He spent another 41 years helping veterans and widows of fallen heroes out of Barksdale Air Force Base in Louisiana. People, all whose lives well lived, were lights in a year of darkness.